chain management, then tied up with last mile logistics as the integrated solution that can bring down the cost of product for this company that it is sourcing from India. Ladies and gentlemen, is our answer to integrated logistics and what we can provide as a solution. And if we can do that, I think we can revolutionize the way logistics is looked at in this country. I thank you for my attention.
Today, almost 1/3 of the vessels can carry about 6,000 to 7,000 containers in one ship. We don't have a single port in India, including JNPT, which has a single berth which can accommodate this kind of ships. Now, as we go along, there will be bigger ships. India needs to have that kind of draft available. Now, that needs dredging. That means a lot more expenditure on the infrastructure side. The ports that will survive are going to be the ports that have the capacity to handle these kind of ships, number one. Number two, the ports that will really survive are the ones which have the infrastructure of multimodal transportation. That is, it has to be having the right kind of road connectivity, rail connectivity to distribute the product into the hinterland or to bring from the hinterland to the port. Thirdly, they need infrastructure for acting as a hub like the free trade warehousing zone or for the domestic sector district parks or logistics parks or whatever you may call them, to really augment the business of the ports, and those are the ports which will really survive. Definitely India is a fast growing economy and probably fastest growing economy on the globe right now. We do have a big issue with regards to the kind of throughput that we have in the containerized traffic in India. It's at about 6.5 million containers per annum, and most of it is going through JNPT, about 65% of it through one single port. Why does actually a country like Dubai or emirate like Dubai or a country like Singapore or China score over India? Is because it's been used as a hub. I don't think a Dubai or an emirate like Dubai or a country like China manufactures or consumes product in excess of what India does, but the fact is that they are used as a hub to distribute products, and that is where India has failed. Even with the kind of coastline that we have in India with 7,000 kilometers of coastline, we have not used India as a hub. It's so beautifully located between the Asian continent, the rest of Asia and the Middle East, Africa region, including some parts of Europe. We have the best of the skilled labor possible in this country at a very, very reasonable rate. We have fantastic number of graduates that come out, technically sound people, and unfortunately all this has not been tapped upon. That's why we see the throughput in India to be very less. Secondly, there's a little bit of misnomer as far as these numbers with regards to Dubai's volume and Singapore's volume or China's volumes are concerned. Singapore volume is at about 24 million, China is at about 186 million, and Dubai is at about 11 million or so. Some of this is a portion of a pure play of what you call as transshipment. Again, here I don't see why Indian ports cannot be used as transshipment points. If a Colombo port can be used as a transshipment point, Indian port should also be used as a transshipment point. Now, these are things that are not happening in India because of the lack of infrastructure. It's not happening because of the regulatory aspects that we have. It's not happening because the kind of will that logistics sector needs to have in this country is not there either with the private sector or the corporate bodies or the government. And that needs to give the government and everybody put together need to give a lot of attention towards this. That's how we are going to increase the throughput in this sector.